Kangaroo Island, here we come! Woohoo! Good morning guys, today is the day, it is day one of the South Australian State Spearfishing Titles. I've only ever dived this spot once, which was yesterday, and I didn't really see much at all, so I don't really have a plan like usual. Far out. Freaking ant's nest. Look at that. Bull ant's nest. But I was saying, like always, I just want to go out there, try and have some fun and enjoy myself along the way, or try my best to document everything, so come along for the journey. I've got no doubt. Far out. Bull ant's nest. Still in the bull ant's nest. Anyway, I've got no doubt there's going to be some epic diving over the next 10 days, so stick around. It wasn't long before everyone started rolling in, with 31 divers competing, doubling last year's attendance. And we lucked out again on day one with some absolutely pristine diving conditions. Finally made it down to the water. Pump's about to start and I'm really out of breath. Gotta calm it down and just take it easy. Like always, with these spearfishing comps, the atmosphere was lively and the spirits were high, as you don't often get 30 guys all with a passion for spearfishing in one location. Anyway, before the comp officially started, there was a quick debrief covering all the safety and basic rules. And if you're interested in how the competition works, you can check out my video from last year's state titles. After the debrief, we had a few minutes to prepare ourselves before the starting horn sounded. I told myself I was just going to take it real easy and not push myself too much. However, that all changed as soon as the competition started, due to my competitive nature kicking in. On the swim out, I spotted the red mullet, also known as goatfish, so quickly shot it to use a squid bait. The bait worked, as within minutes it attracted a little hungry squid. However, classic me, I missed it. In the end, I had to go get the squid the old school way. I wasn't too sure if the squid was going to weigh. Nonetheless, it still felt good to get one species on the board. It wasn't long at all before I came across another fish on the list, the good old horseshoe leather jacket. I ventured out a bit deeper and did a dive at what seemed like a fishy spot. On the way down, I was eyeing a school of pike, trying to determine whether there'd be 350 grams. Up ahead though, I spotted a nice little queenie, commonly known as blue morwong, swimming towards me, so of course chose that over the pike and put it straight to sleep. After sorting out the queenie, I put my head back in the water and spotted the biggest squid chasing my flasher, so immediately dived down and shot it. I was a lot more confident that this squid would reach the minimum 400 grams, but unfortunately it only just reached 300, which is a shame, as I could have potentially shot a bigger one later and upsized. I did another drop and spotted a couple yellow striped leather jackets and honed in on them, completely missing the harlequin and nanny guy. And it was only after I shot the leather jacket I realised this, but it was too late. I guess that really goes to show the importance of scanning the area for other species before taking the shot. I quickly sorted out the leather jacket, did my breathe up and headed down again in search of the harlequin. I managed to spot the nanny guy, which was legal, but probably wouldn't have met the minimum 500 grams, but there was no sign of the harlequin. I knew it still had to be hanging around somewhere, so went down again and this time managed to spot it, hiding in the weed. I wonder if you guys can see it, as it did a real good job camouflaging itself. I knew it wasn't going anywhere this time, so I did a quick scan of the area to see if there was anything better before taking the shot. This was only my second harlequin ever shot, so I was pretty stoked, as they're a delicious fish to eat and are very similar to coral trout. After that, I spotted an even bigger squid, so went down, but unfortunately took a bit of a long shot and my spear just fell short. But on the way up, I spotted the nanny guy hanging around my flasher. There was another diver nearby and I didn't want him beating me to it, so I quickly reloaded and secured it. It was clear to say I'd gassed myself out already, but I was pretty satisfied with the 5 species I'd gotten so far. However, I really wasn't feeling like diving anymore, which is a first, as I probably went a bit too hard at the start, rather than pacing myself. Plus my scrawny legs weren't conditioned for long shore dives, as over the past few months I've just been boat and cray diving, which doesn't involve anywhere near as much swimming as I'd done that morning. So I decided to call it there and slowly start making my way back to the starting location, hoping to pick up a few more species along the way. As I was heading back, I spotted the school of silver trevally, which are one of my favourite fish to eat. However, they were keeping their distance from me, so I decided to put my grunting technique to the test to try and call in the biggest one at the back. It worked well as it came to shooting range. Unfortunately, my shot was a bit too low and I missed it. I went down again and managed to approach one from above, which worked well as I was just out of its sight. While handling the trevally, I noticed it had a little fish sitting in its mouth, which was pretty cool to see. Also, how nice are the colours on them. After that, I came across a sea sweep that unfortunately someone else had shot and lost it. So I didn't hesitate at all to put it out of its misery, because as spearos, the last thing we want to do is take poor shots and wound fish. Anyway, at this stage, I was only a couple hundred meters away from the starting point, but I managed to pick up a couple more leather jacket species before making my way back in. With this leather jacket, unfortunately, I shot it right through its gut, and anyone who has spearfished knows that's not where you want to be shooting fish.
I really hope this fish goes 400 grams, so I'm making sure get it out without losing any guts.
As you can see, I had to perform a quick emergency surgery to try and stuff all of its guts back inside, but sadly, the surgery failed, as in the end, the fish went just under 400 grams. Anyway, after that, I decided to call it there and head in, as it was already 12 o'clock and I was absolutely knackered. So I just got back in, got 9 species in the end, but I reckon a couple of them. Got a nice nanny, Harley, Queenie. Check out this trevally, it's got a fish in its mouth, so that should give it some extra couple grams. But I'm worried about this squid. Oh, if it's gonna go 400 grams, and also leather jackets. I'm gonna head back, relax, eat some food, and then we'll see him at the weigh-in.
That's beautiful.
Nanny guy, 795.
This big.
Winnie.
21.8. Oh, little queen. Wow.
1.085. Harlequin. 1.2. Sea sweet.
Someone shot that fish, it was just floating on the side. Wow.
530. Valley.
Oh, nice trip.
605. Horseshoe livery. 615.
It's under.
370. Just got a yellow fish. 6. Nice work, Edwin. Good job.
Great.
So hopefully you guys can hear me with this wind right now, as it's pretty windy. But day 1 is over, and must say I surprised myself, did a lot better than I thought I would. So exhausted right now, my legs are aching, my back is aching, I'm so sleepy, so not really looking forward to tomorrow's dive. But I guess we'll see how it goes, so stick around. Peace out.